Hello? Okay. Hey, Willie, it seems like it's taken forever to get to this point. We see you guys out there laughing and joking around. What's the mood of this squad, 24 hours or so before?
Calm, cool, collected, locked in, focused, ready to play. Yeah, that's where we at.
What do you do now in the hours before to kind of stay focused, or do you try to escape for a while?
With family and stuff being here, you try to escape. So we've been doing football and things like that all week. We're prepared for the game right now, just trying to get away, see our family and things like that, get something good to eat, get off our feet, relax, and then just try to just zone in to the game and get ready to play some ball.
For me, before I let someone else have a turn, what do you guys want to do at the line of scrimmage with you and Jackson and Stove and Jake and all that crew?
We just want to be disruptive. We want to get in the backfield. We want to make everything hard for Dane. We want to make everything hard for the running backs. And we want to, try to get him off his spot. We don't want him to get comfortable back there, setting his feet to throw. We also don't want him to get out the pocket, to extend plays and things like that. But we do want him get him off his spot, make him move around, and get him uncomfortable.
Willie, I'm wondering, too, if there's a sense of calm because you're prepared, you've been there, you've done that, you got the T-shirt from 19, and nothing is new this week?
No. This is a different ball game, and the mindset that we have on our team is we haven't done anything yet, and what we have done isn't good enough. We need to work harder, and we need to finish. That's the mindset. It's finish. We have one goal in mind, and that's to host that cup after the game, and Hamilton is in our way.
Does experience though help you in that you know what to expect tomorrow? Whatever the condition's going to be, you've been through it and done it.
I guess like with the weather having to be, if it is gonna snow, having a snow game, with it just being cold, playing in cold games, being a cold wet game, doing things like that. We've done that. Like we've prepared. We've weathered the storm, battled the elements, watched the film, did the practice, and stuff like that. Whatever we have to face tomorrow, we will totally be prepared to face it head on, full go.
Thank you.
Seems a bit like you just answered it, Willie, but I was going to ask you what convinces you that this team is ready and prepared to do what you need to do tomorrow?
The process that we've taken to get here. Coach O'Shea has, led us to the right spot. He doesn't lead us in the wrong direction. Everything that he says plays a key role in how we prepare. And he speaks on process more than anything, and we want to try to keep that as close to normal as we do. And he's done a good job doing that to keep everybody, locked in, focused, and ready to handle the task at hand.
Would you describe this group as being businesslike but loose?
Yeah, because when it's time to lock in and be focused, we're strictly business. It's business like stuff like that. No, it's no laughing, no joking around and stuff like that. But it's like a switch can get flipped. And as soon as the meetings and things are over, as soon as you step outside the stadium or the facility or whatever, it's all laugh, jokes, guys playing music, hanging out with one another. And that's something that Coach O'Shea wanted us to do more this year than we did in 19. He wanted us to be more together as a team. He wanted us to, connect with one another, not as players, but as, friends outside of the football aspect and things like that. And that's something that I feel we've done a little bit more this year, and I'm happy to do that. Got the chance to connect with some guys other than just defensive linemen. I got a chance to connect with some offensive guys, some DBs and things like that, so, yeah.
Willie, how much of your confidence comes from the trust in the players that are lined up beside you and behind you?
Oh, I completely trust my brothers that line up beside me because You know what I'm saying? Like the process that we go through, the preparation that we have, you know, the camaraderie, the things that we put in since day one. A lot of the guys that we have now have been here since training camp. We haven't made a lot of changes and things like that, and that's good for us. You know, to have everybody back that's been there from the beginning, so you know how guys play. You know what they like, what they don't like, and things like that. I can know for a fact that I can lay my life on the line for the guy next to me, and if I do that, he's willing to do the same thing for me.
Willie, it's a beautiful day out there today, but pretty.
Oh, it's wonderful. Today was so beautiful.
But pretty windy. Do you have any sympathy for the kickers? Do you feel for them, or is it just that's their job and they know what to do?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't feel for the kickers. I'm saying just like we got to go out and battle the elements and things like that. That's a part of their job. As a kicker, you got to get prepared for the win. I'm sorry. You got to be prepared for the wind. You got to be prepared for the rain. We got to be prepared for the cold, for the anything. So I'm sure when things like that go their way, they like challenges. They want to see if they can kick it so far this way. When the wind hit it, they come back. See how far they can kick it. Into the wind. If they got the wind at their back and stuff like that. So I think they take that as a challenge. Just like if I was to go out there and to be a rainy game, what can I do in the rain that I couldn't do, if it was dry or, if it was cold or whatever. So,
Willie, we saw in 2019 how fast you guys started that game. It set the tone, essentially. How important is it for you guys to focus on the start and potentially getting Hamilton's head early in that game tomorrow?
That's a big thing for us. We like to start fast. We like to start strong. And if we can do that, and we can, put those guys behind the 8-ball like we did in 19, that'll be good for us. We as a defense, we trust in our offense, trust in our special teams to put us in good field position or put points on the board so we can play Winnipeg defense. And if we can do that and keep doing that in the first half, keep doing that in the second half and come out victorious, then we did our job. Hey, we good. Let's do it. Thank you, guys.
How the offense and the defense started that game and really put Hamilton behind the 8-ball early, and it just set the tone kind of. How important is it to get off to a really quick start tomorrow and potentially get in Hamilton's head a little bit?
Oh, I think you always want to start fast. In a perfect world, you always do. But there's always ebbs and flows in the game. Adversity strikes. Our last game is a perfect example of that. Obviously, the plan is to go out there and execute. And when you execute, you hope to start fast. But, we'll have to weather some storms, I'd imagine, at some point, and our guys are ready to do that.
Zach, I'm wondering the day before the game now, if there's a calm because you're prepared and there's nothing more to do. What would you do on for the rest of the day?
Yeah, you want to feel prepared, and in a hectic week like this, you have to put a little more time into it. But our coaches have done a great job of, making the game plan, teaching it to us. I thought we had a good week of practice. Now it's on us to go out there and execute. I think, usually I like to go through the entire script and walk through it one more time. the night before and sit back and relax with my wife and kids. So a little bit different, beat on the road and Grey Cup week, but just gonna cross our T's and dot our I's and get off our feet.
Is there a sense of confidence, though, knowing that you are as prepared as you are?
Yeah, I mean, you try to go into every single game that way. You want to be as prepared as you can and trust your preparation, and I think that's how you execute at a high level. So, again, a little more fine tuning to do before that, but we'll be ready.
Zach, Andrew was saying yesterday that in the hours before the game, you're kind of in a zone where you're just kind of staring ahead, and he tries to stay out of your way. Are you going through plays, or what's going through your mind in those hours before the game? What do you think of?
Oh, you know how the human mind works. Kind of goes everywhere. Yeah, it's tough sometimes to just lock into one thing. But I'm typically probably thinking about a play or a situation in the game. Trying to visualize success. At the same time, thinking about how lucky I am to have the opportunity to play this game, and saying a prayer and thanking God that I have these opportunities, and that I can be a good role model for kids, and thanking Him for my wife and my children and those kind of things, right? So all those kind of things kind of enter your mind, and all leading to the moment before kickoff, and after that, it's you're really locked into a zone there.
Coach O'Shea says the ultimate for him is to see a team that comes together and does it for the right reasons for each other. How much does he play into that? How much of this is kind of trying to do it for him too?
Oh, I think everybody has a lot of love for Coach O'Shea. Like you said, it's something that he's talked about since I've been here, and I'm sure before. But before every game, he says something to the effect of, find somebody in this locker room that you go out there and lay it on the line for, because you love them. And I'd venture to guess that every single person in our locker room has a handful of guys they feel that way about. So I think that speaks to just our team in the locker room, and obviously his leadership.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Zach, it feels like we're asking everybody, or everyone asks players leading into this week, just what it means to you, the people around you. And I'm wondering if you guys as a team have, moments of reflection, or if you feel that this week is magnified because of how big Sunday is.
I don't think anybody's really thought of it that way. I think obviously, with all the obligations that go into this week, with regards to, talking to you guys and, some of the promo stuff, I think that, can throw a wrench into just the day-to-day usual preparations. But, I don't think anybody has really, except for maybe having a little bit of more juice on day 3 there before the game. Nobody's really made it too big. Again, we really try to trust in our process and prepare like we always do. And because I always say, and you guys probably get sick of hearing it, but after that first snap, it's just another game, and you have to treat it that way because it's the truth. And if you execute one play at a time, you feel happy about the result.
What game are you expecting on Sunday?
I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's 2 great teams. I think we're both a lot different than week 1. Both greatly improved. 2 great organizations going at it, and just really happy for the league, really happy for the country. Having a year off and being able to pull this off this year, it's been an amazing season, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Zach, in the last 7 days, you guys have pretty much worked out, played, practiced in almost every condition you can imagine, from Winnipeg last week to today to snow on Wednesday. Is that a good thing, or do you wish it had been more constant like it's going to be on game day, or does it make any difference at all when you're working out during the week?
No, it's probably a good thing. I think it's good because you just got to approach it like, whatever the weather is, we got to go out there and execute, So the first day we had some snow, and it was a little bit colder, especially as the day went on, it got colder. And yesterday felt like summer coming from Winnipeg. Being out there in the field today brought back some memories of walking up to practice all the time, and it's like, man, there's the wind again. So it was, really windy. I think it'll probably be pretty mild tomorrow, again, with respect to how it's been in Winnipeg for us. But we'll be ready for anything. We believe in our game plan, and we believe in each other, so we're ready.
Condition. If you had a choice and you could call the shot, what would you want to play in?
Some good old, October, November, Midwest, Ohio football weather, however that would be. I really like the fall.
So Zach, as much as you try to keep the week the same every single week in the preparation, how beneficial is it that you were in this situation last season, if we can call it that, and the fact that you might have some familiarity, clearly, with this facility? Does that help your comfort level?
I think, having been a part of this game a few times definitely helps, just from an understanding that you need to be efficient with your time and have great time management. There's always going to be a curveball thrown in there, and it kind of is what it is, but I think, it does help our team having played in this game before. So, with respect to the facility, I'm not sure how far that will go for me personally, to answer your question, but I think it does help having guys on the team that have been through this week.
For the players that haven't been here before, are there intentional conversations to go out and seek those players out and prepare them for what comes tomorrow?
I think we allow position groups and leaders in those groups to have those conversations, and our coaches as well. I think everybody knows that we got to go out there and execute, and that's the plan.
Zach, you talked about remembering the wind when you walked in here. You've been part of some great moments here. You started the first game ever here, and then you've had some great years, and then the injury was here too. What goes through your mind when you walk into this place?
I try not to be too dramatic and sentimental, especially before a game. But today it just felt like I was walking out to practice 3 or 4 years ago, whenever that was, and it was windy, and it's like, damn, we got to throw in the wind today. So I guess it's good for me that I've played in something like that before, if that's what it's going to be like tomorrow. But really just trying to stay focused on the task at hand, and all those things about our careers we can reflect on down the road.
Saw the speaker out of practice yesterday, Zach. What are you expecting out of this crowd tomorrow?
Oh, I think it's going to be an amazing atmosphere. With it being a home game for Hamilton, it'll certainly be loud, and we've been practicing different snap counts, so we'll be ready for anything. Like I said, I think it's just an amazing week for the CFL, and I'm just really happy for the fans that they get to celebrate the season, and it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Good day.
Seen all 4 seasons in the last week. If you go back to Sunday in Winnipeg, Coach, is this your favorite day so far? What do you expect out of tomorrow, and does that change the game plan at all?
Well, we were hoping for -10. But we're not going to get it. Mother Nature does not always do what we ask. But I think the guys are enjoying this day. I mean, it's a little vitamin D for you.
Mike, how important is it, if you get off to a good start tomorrow, do you think Hamilton would be the kind of team to
Keep playing hard
well,
and battle all game long, 60 minutes. Hamilton is going to play the full 60 minutes and another 60 if we have to. I can promise you that.
You don't think they'll be the kind of team to think, here we go again,
No.
the Bombers are up on us?
No.
Okay, good.
There's not a lot of guys that make it to this stage that last if they say, here we go again. It doesn't work that way for them, or it doesn't work out well for them. And Steiny would never let that happen.
Mike, I'm wondering what goes on now for you and your coaches. All the preparation is done, the practices are done. Now you just wait for kickoff. Is it a tense time, or is it a time to sort of just decompress and just reflect?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the guys to use their time wisely. On a personal, level, I caught myself just wanting the game to show up, wanting it to be here, and you still have a lot of time. And if you let that time go by without doing a few of the things that you should do, you're missing out on opportunities, right? Whether that's clearing your head, talking to family, giving a good bite to eat, watching more film, talking to your teammates, like all the things that you can do in that time frame, you need to do. It's part of the process, right? But just sitting around waiting for the game to start, it's that wouldn't be the right choice, I'm sure.
Did you find you did that at all as a player?
I started doing it. I started doing it a couple days ago, so I've got to reset.
I know you're never sure if practice equates to a game, but I remember you telling me in 19, day 3 was like this vitamin D rush. The sun came out. That seemed like your best practice of the week. How did yesterday compare?
Yeah, yesterday was really good. The difference being, the weather warmed up and guys were flying around, but I also think with the vets that we had that had played before and experienced this week before, they had a better understanding of what day 3 needs to look like. Yeah.
Would it be fair to say, Mike, that this team is both businesslike and loose?
You could say whatever you want. You're writing it. So I like where they're at. Yeah, I like where they're at. They, once again, you bring the majority of veterans back, and credit to the players for wanting to be back, especially after a tough, previous year and everything. But you bring them back for these types of reasons and these types of games because they know what they need personally, and they're also aware of what their teammates need. Yeah.
Mike, you mentioned in your speech last night about the hardships heading into this year and the hard work that it took. You just mentioned it now. I'm wondering if you feel this week, if there's a greater appreciation amongst the team, just given, no season last year, and just because it seems like a bit more of a reflective week.
Yeah, I haven't really asked the guys whether they've reflected on that. I don't think they have or will. I think the gratitude around the season started, sort of at training camp, at the end of training camp, the first regular season game, and now they're spending their time and energy focused on this prep week and the process we follow, and focusing on that preparation more than a reflection time, right? That's probably for the off season.
Given you know both these teams, what kind of game are you expecting on Sunday?
Yeah, 60 minutes of tough football played in a great environment. Hamilton style football. Like we probably play the same brand. Good defenses, offenses that can get after it, big plays. And it's going to be a great setting, and it's to me it's the biggest single day sporting event in Canada every single year. It's celebrated across the country. It's important to people from one coast to the other. And I love that part of it. That's awesome.
You get a chance to walk along the water last night?
Not yet. No. It's on the list.
We often hear players say they appreciate this more as they get older. Like Andrew was saying the other day, first time was kind of taken for granted a bit. How about you? This is number 6?
I don't know.
You don't know? How
No.
many you been at?
I'm not. Listen, too many hits to the head. I don't really know what's going on back then.
How much more do you appreciate it now than your first one, would you say?
I don't know that now's the time to compare them. I mean, what I really enjoy about this right now is watching these players, watching these guys interact, watching this team work. So I don't know why I would try to compare it to another time or place.
Savor moments more maybe than you used to. I don't know.
Well, I think that's a natural thing as a player. I mean, we've talked about this before. As a player, standing back and watching other players was an important sort of transition. But I'm not a player anymore, so I get to stand back and watch all these guys all the time.
Let me follow that up, Mike. As a coach, Is it a different feeling that you have leading into a game than it was as a player, or is it the exact same, whatever's going on inside you? Is it the same feeling as it was, or is it completely different as a coach?
There's, as a coach, there's more decisions, and if that's what you're getting at, I don't know. The way I feel on the inside is your body's getting ready to get going, right? So, I don't know if it's butterflies. I don't know what you'd call it. It's not that. It's just at this point, I'm old enough to understand what my body's doing. It's getting ready to fight, and that's quite enjoyable. That's quite an enjoyable sensation, right? Is to have that feeling of you're ready to go. And the trick is to not let that happen too soon and spend too much energy. Thank you.